Okay, so God of War Live, we are going to react to the interviews. They're 24 minutes, not that long. But I just reacted to basically the gameplay trailer, the cast, and the trailer in itself. But yeah, now I'm just watching the interview.
Hello, everybody. My name is Corey Barlog.
I know he interested like the story to Ariel,
I am the
like somebody he knew for
head
20
of
years.
creative here at Santa Monica Studio, and I am excited to be coming here to talk to you a little bit about the God of War.
It's so insane that the original director of God of War I mean, he doesn't really like the new games. Like he likes the God of War 2018, but he doesn't like the Ragnarok. He doesn't like the whole vibe of Kratos being such a family man. Like which he always has been, like he written the character too, but I think what he means, like, it's not as like just straight up action, right? We're fighting just to fight, like this angry man that just wants revenge. Like I think that's what he wants, the same, because I think he used the example like with movies, like when you go into movie like that's like pure action packed, you expect it to be that way, especially if the franchise has been that way for so long. But if you get something else, like I feel like he thinks like it's not as good. But I think at this point we already had like what, three games of Kratos being like a brutal, revengeful man. So like having this switch up is pretty good actually, story wise. Like this is character development, but you know what? I mean, he has a different vision, so I get
Franchise.
it. Like I do hate the fact that fans are like, "Oh, this is why you're not part of you're not a director anymore for the God of War franchise." Like that was his vision, and it worked. It made an iconic game. Like, yeah, it's sad that his vision is not like in coherence with the new team of Santa Monica, but still, like he just has a different idea, and that's okay. But I think the fans are a fan of the new direction, the new director, the new story for Kratos.
We're expanding out, TV, some games, but most importantly, most
Mhm.
specifically for today, we're here to talk about God of War Lao Fei. And I
Lao
have the
Fei.
director here sitting with me that I'm going to be talking to. Ariel Lawrence is somebody who I've worked with for 23 years. See,
Damn.
she's laughing because that, my God, is a long time. And obviously, we've done different things throughout all of that, but we're going to get to know Ariel just a little bit in this sit down and talk a little bit about our past and what the game is that we're making here. Ariel Lawrence,
Yes,
how are you
Corey.
today?
Excited to be here.
Excited to be
Excited to be
That's
here.
good. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Look, so when did you start working at Santa Monica? When was it?
I started working in Santa Monica in August of 2003, and I was right out of film school.
Wow.
I got hired to cut trailers and videos, and I cut the TGS trailer for the first God of War. And then
Yo, that's crazy. Damn. Now I feel even more sad. Like it's so insane that, like, I mean, it's a different vision. I like I just said, but like the fact that the old director doesn't really like the new direction. It's so crazy. Like it's so sad. I mean, even Santa Monica made a statement saying like that was obviously pretty sad that, you know, like he doesn't agree with this new direction, but like, I think the reason he made it that way, he said like now he's a family man, and he kind of put his own like soul into this new twist of Kratos
I
character.
wanted to do
So, I'm definitely like um interested in seeing her take
more than wait tables.
on on the franchise?
So I asked if there was anything else I could do around here, and I ended up working in production. And I worked on God of War 1, 2, 3, Ascension, and I was 2 years on 2018 before I took my little walkabout in the world. And then I couldn't get enough of this place. I came back home.
That's quite an amazing journey. You have deep, deep, deep roots with the God of War world. Cutting the trailer for TGS, that was like the first sort of thing that I worked on, I think, when I got here as well. So
that was back in the
started-
day when Kratos had blue tattoo.
Yeah.
And
We're still calling him
Damn.
Dominus.
it's still calling him Dominus.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, and the team was only like, well, 30, 35 people maybe. Small compared
That's
to now.
crazy.
It was weird. It's weird to think
Yeah.
about making games with that small of a group of people. When we were like 65 people, that's so much. And then we got to 100, that's so much.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the most memorable aspects of working on God of War, the whole
That's
franchise?
so cool.
The whole franchise, I mean, I think each game definitely, I think, left its mark or scars, battle scars. But,
Really?
you know, it's like the studios, just the commitment to quality and the late nights with each other trying to figure out some problem or make some magic happen in the middle of the night, or coming back in and somebody took a smoke break and, I don't know, maybe changed the boss of God of War 2. I think that might have been
I feel
you.
like that's a dig at me. I feel like I'm going to own that one because that's entirely true.
Damn. Straight shots.
But, yeah, no, I mean, every game was
Like, it's so crazy. Like, I feel like, I mean, I'm not in the industry, but I feel like I relate to this. Like, whenever two games I was making with my team, the first one, Nucleus, a team I built, and there were so many late nights and calls that lasted hours, and it was even more like apparent in like the new team I entered, Moon of the Dam, by team lead of Tommy Jem and Beatrice. They both kind of were the leaders, and like the calls were basically like 8 hours, 9 hours, 17 hours. Like it was so, oh nah, it was a lot. It was a lot. Like,
a new set of challenges.
and we were like mostly teams of artists, and there was like Nucleus. I think we were a lot of artists, but like we were like, what, how many programmers? Like 5, but then the rest would be just artists. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. And with Moon of the Dam, I think we were just 7 artists, but number of programmers, I think we were also 4. Really one that, not gonna lie, carried.
Like, how do you make Titans? How do you make the trailer for the Titans come through?
Yes.
How do you make multiplayer? How do you reinvent Kratos? Where does he go?
Damn.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's always an exciting story.
Why did you want to come back?
And I feel like it's always scary when you're trying to reinvent, because like you don't know if the fan base will really like it. Like I'm talking about the director, but like what he's saying is not like that crazy. Like maybe the fans might not want this character development for Kratos, and like still want him to be this revengeful guy that's a brute, and like still like one dimensional. That, like, that's valid. So even reinventing is like a risk, and they took it, and it worked. It freaking worked.
To the studio. What made you decide this is where I need to be?
The short and probably semi-uncomfortable answer for this interview is I came back for you. Definitely that bar of excellence has been in my head for a long time. Your creative voice has weighed down on some projects of mine, and I don't know, I just missed the team's commitment.
It's really like the people in the team that will really affect your experience, like on how you make a game, how passionate you are about a game. Like in my team in Nucleus, like obviously like I love my team in Moon of the Damned, Team Ruby, latest team that I worked on for the game Moon of the Damned. but in Nucleus, like, um, it was after the failure of the first pitch, because in the first pitch I was basically with random people, and after that failure I was like, oh my god, I don't want this to happen. I want like a game that I'm actually proud of and everything, right? And that's the reason why I decided, like, okay, I'm gonna pick out my team members. And a few of the team members were some of my friends and people, like, or some people that maybe I wasn't friend but I knew worked very well. um and that's one of the reasons why I will always be proud of the game Newton and Bolt, because like that was really a game, like, that's when I really started to be like, okay, I want to really take my own destiny in hands. Like, I will really, like, I want to be with people like that are just as passionate, you know. Not to say the team in the first pitch wasn't passionate. It's just like we're just put in random and then let's make a game, right? And it didn't work out because we didn't have a vision. We didn't have a plan, and that's why in the Nucleus, like, uh, I really had to be like kind of like the one that organizes the team in a certain way.
Just the the people here. I came back for the people.
Yeah,
Came back
it's
for the
really
people.
always
came
the
back
I
people.
like that. That's better than coming back for me, because the voices in my head are not ones to follow.
That's your voice in my head, not your voices in my head. That's different.
True. If you had my voices and it's just that's not even, that's a whole nother series of videos, I imagine. So when you found out coming here that you're going to work on a Fae game, what was your thoughts?
I was excited. I was a little shocked, surprised.
Why?
I think that we were going to do something different.
Surprised.
I think when I was coming back and talking to
Oh.
folks, I had just assumed it would be another Kratos game, and that's who I would be telling stories about for the rest of my life. And I was okay with that. But I think finding out about Faye,
That's a nice
and
surprise.
just seeing somebody whose journey that we could really explore and turn new pages on was exciting. Looking at the world in a different lens was exciting. So it was,
Especially seeing her perspective on who Kratos is, because like we've been seeing the perspective of Kratos' story, or even his son, right? But like, I mean, even his son seeing his perspective, it's really mostly Kratos still. And so this is interesting.
just saying yes to that opportunity, I think was really cool.
It's a good outlook.
Perspective
Just
on
say
the
yes to that
gods and
opportunity.
everything.
That's what has gotten me into a lot of trouble over the years.
That's true. I still can't believe you
Present
said yes to
position
direct this.
included.
Yeah, I always try to talk people out of directing.
You
these
did
games.
try to talk me out of doing
But I
this.
try to be upfront and straightforward
Yes.
about it, just so that people don't feel like you tricked me. Like,
No,
or,
you were
know,
very
like I tricked
honest
him.
about the work that it entailed
Yeah.
for doing
Aw.
this. Yes.
Yes.
That
And
is,
it's
one of the things in the gaming industry that's pretty. This is something they do notoriously. I mean, a lot of jobs really, but like also it is very present in the gaming industry. They'll the requirements or the task that they want you to do, it's not always every task. Now, it's always something that's present in every game, but sometimes they'll hide certain tasks that you need to do. And it's kind of like not set up front, but more like, oh, I mean, yeah, we didn't say it, but we kind of expected you to be part of your responsibilities, right? So that's actually, it's actually nice. I mean, they're also friends, so being very dishonest in front of somebody you worked for like 23 years, kind of, that would have been kind of crazy.
exciting.
But
Fae is, while it's a different thing, it's still part of
Yeah.
the larger tapestry of what we're doing. We really want to explore all these different characters in there, but there's always
That's
going to
cool.
be Kratos games, like throughout
Oh,
the whole
for sure.
history.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the main focus is going to be Kratos, and when Faye comes back, it's going to go back to a Kratos story, but exploring these different characters creates so builds the world building, and that's cool. um and I think it kind of gives us a break from like the same characters, you know.
We were super
Yeah, we
excited
can't not
about
tell
that.
stories about the big guy.
Yeah.
Let's go into directing. What are you most excited about in stepping into the role as a game director?
There's like a fine line
Okay.
between excitement and being terrified. I
Yeah,
think I'm on
it's a
the
lot
edge
of
of excitement most of the
responsibility.
time, but I think being able to be curious about everything on the game. Previously, I had done a lot of work on story and cinematics and in different
Yeah.
pipelines for the game, but this really got me able to be nosy and ask questions and really get people to look at things differently from a lot of different perspectives, and to just have an opportunity to kind of like find myself in Faye's story was exciting. But yeah, then I
They
think
really put their
just
soul into it.
captaining this ship with all of these humans making this game together is a lot, but it's very exciting.
I want to go back to something you said, finding yourself. Talk about what part of you you're putting into the game.
I mean, I think, we've always come at stories from Santa Monica with, characters at their heart, right? And finding ourselves, even in Kratos, everybody's had a point in their time when they've made some decisions that maybe they wish they hadn't and really thought things through again. But I think for Faye, that was that question of, who is she? Who was this person that everybody idolized and, just stood in awe of, and to really think about all the facets that make up that person, right? She's, a loving wife and mother, but she's also a warrior. She's a guardian of her people. She's
Yeah.
a rebellion leader. She's all of these things. And to be able to have an opportunity to just explore that person with the detail and the love that Santa Monica brings is just, very touching, very exciting.
She's the
The
goat.
hardest part for you.
Yeah, she about to make one of the greatest game of all time. I can tell. I can hear it.
Stepping into the role as a director, is there any sort of individual parts where it's like that you feel great about overcoming? I think that's probably the more specific question. Is there's hard parts, but we always sort of push
Yeah.
through when we get to that other side. What's any hard parts that you
These
think of?
questions dig
I mean,
deep.
I think the hard parts there are definitely some places where I feel, comfortable, like story is a comforting place for me. But there are some places that are new in a way that having to be familiar with that depth, there's engineering things and design issues and all sorts of things. And everybody has a question and they all need their answers immediately, and trying to kind of keep the potluck that we have going and becoming still digestible at the end of the meal, like that's been very difficult sometimes, of just trying to get everything they need to be as creative as possible, and then keep a handle on making sure that it still tells a singular story of Faye. I think that's been it's been a learning and growing experience as time has gone on. And there's always voices from the top and there's always voices from the bottom. Everybody has an opinion, which is one of the things I love about Santa Monica. And it's trying to figure out how to temper those to make sure that we're being truthful to who Faye is and what her journey is on that.
So you kind of dove into aspects of design and
Yeah,
engineering and got more educated on that.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part. I mean, that's the wonderful part about making games, is that it's not just one person; it's hundreds of people now to make it together. And that's there are places and things that every day is different. Every day is 80 different meetings about different topics, and play testers and build times and design questions and art questions and narrative questions and working with actors, and it's exciting. So I don't know, it keeps me busy. Never a dull moment.
Exciting, overwhelming, but fantastic. And you
Yes.
are doing an amazing job at it.
Appreciate that.
Falling into the crazy fray quite well. So, for the folks at home who haven't seen the announce that we've done. Why don't you do a little recap? Tell us what that's all about.
Well, the game reveal that we just showed, hopefully everybody's gotten a chance to see it. If not,
Yeah.
maybe they'll take a chance right now. But we start with Faye's dead. We wanted to start exactly. We wanted to start exactly where the players were, which is, in God of War 2018. Her death was the impetus for Kratos and Atreus' journey together and their growth together and going on to Ragnarok. We debated whether or not to tell a story before that. And what we really wanted to do was just pick up exactly where the player was, which is Faye's dead. And she finds herself in the afterlife of the gods. And there she discovers some things that make her question whether or not Kratos and Atreus are safe. And she's determined to find a way back to help them.
What do you want the audience to feel?
I'd like the audience to watch the game reveal and be like, this is amazing. I can't wait to play this.
Yes.
I can't wait to be in
that's how it made
Faye's
me feel.
boots kicking ass.
Yes.
That's what I want the players to feel. I want them to be curious about the world and the opportunity that it has in magic and the gods that we're going to meet with all these mythologies coming together in the afterlife.
Yes.
I want them to be excited and swept away by the world and Faye's story and where she's going to go.
And this is gameplay in this reveal. And this is showing that this is not a prequel. This is a continuation of the timeline right at the beginning of God of War 2018. What happened to Faye after that funeral?
Exactly. And we were really intent on it being gameplay. We, we wanted the first taste for players to really center on what it's like to play this game and who this person is and really show you what you're going to get when you pick the controllers up.
Speaking of who this person is, Faye, what is the most interesting aspect of her? Why is Faye such a compelling character? I know why. I have my own answer, but I'd love to hear your answer. Why is she so compelling?
I find great connection with Faye's curiosity about the world, her loyalty to her friends and family, just the fact that she goes into situations that she's kind of unprepared for and kicks ass anyway. And I think that, she's a little bit more improvisational than maybe Kratos might be. And she's not afraid to kind of be honest and show her kind of true self and emotions on things. And I think, for Kratos, we love him dearly, but I think sometimes he's a little closed off and he's learning to open up a little bit more. So I think with Faye,
he's working on it. He's
working on it. But I think with Faye, we got to be let in a little bit more.
Where is this all taking place? Like we're talking about that Faye, she died. Right? She died at the beginning of 2018, and now we're kind of moving into this game and going on the journey. Where is this?
So Faye finds herself in the afterlife of the gods. So this is the birthplace and the ending point to which all magic returns. All magic. And so the amazing thing about that is twofold, right? We get all sorts of magic, a highly heightened magical world to play in. But we also get the return and the discovery of a lot of different mythologies coming together and what happens when those mythologies kind of meet up and being able to kind of encompass and throw our arms around different mythologies has been very exciting. Just getting to know different people and different people's stories. So
the afterlife of the gods is kind of this transcendent place above kind of the mortal world and the afterlife of humans, and then the sort of underworld of humans. It exists sort of above all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in Ragnarok, Odin really was kind of taken by that question. What happens to us when we die? We know what happens to the mortals when they die, but what happens to us? And so this is an answer for that question. What happens to gods when they die? And, things aren't working quite exactly the way that they should be in this afterlife of the gods. And magic isn't flowing exactly the way that it should be. So this afterlife's not exactly a paradise. It's a little bit more of a prison.
It's gone a little bit cattywampus.
A little bit. And the folks who are in charge there, who you'll meet in the reveal video, Sekhmet and Baxi, they've taken over things. And as two respective gods of war, they have a certain way of doing things. It's a little bit more violent. So this place is, it's beautiful, it's magical, but it's very dangerous.
From a gameplay perspective, how is this a God of War game? What makes it sort of fit in the pantheon of God of War gameplay?
Well, we don't shy away from violence, that's for sure. So definitely true to our kind of brutal roots. But I think more than that, we're focused on Faye and telling her story and just really exploring the world through her eyes, that journey of her character and how she comes across this world. So I think that at the heart of it really just makes us a God of War game and a Santa Monica game. But, Faye affords us a few more opportunities than maybe Kratos might. Faye is a little bit more agile in the world than Kratos is. And she has a healthier relationship, I think, than with magic. She hasn't quite the past that Kratos has.
She's more of the embracer of magic, whereas Kratos is the skeptical user of magic.
Yeah. So definitely being in a world so filled with magic, we can really lean into that with Faye. And, we want to stay true to the hallmarks of a God of War game, just that close, combat, that agility, the exploration of our world, story at our heart. These are all things.
Pick up and play.
Absolutely.
That sort of brutal, kind of intimate gameplay that we've been sort of refined through each of the iterations, taking it one step further and taking it one step further. What are some things that are kind of added to make it unique?
Well, I think one of the first things that excited the team was that we brought jump back into the game. Kratos hasn't jumped for a little while. So I think that we looked through all of our God of War games from the Greek era, Norse era, and really we got to kind of pick up each element and think about, does this help us tell Lao Fei's story? She is always thinking on her feet and, throwing herself into kind of the next battle and really trying to work her way through the world. And so leaning into that, we were able to borrow some of those elements from the Greek era, the movement, the fluidity in there, but then also couple that with the Norse era, the way that we approach the world, our close ties with character, Faye's relationship with her companions, all of these things kind of led us to this new version that is uniquely Faye.
God of War Lao Fei. Lao Fei is played by the amazing and absolutely wonderful Deborah Ann Wall.
Stunningly talented.
Stunningly talented. See, you worded it so much better than I did. Talk to me about working with her.
She's amazing, hands down. She just comes to the set with so much energy, and it's amazing to just be in this imagination world with her. And she is Faye, and Faye is her. She's also amazing in the VO booth. Just one of the best actors I've worked with in the booth, and just brings everything to it. Leaves no stone unturned.
Consummate professional.
Consummate professional. She's just a lot of fun to be with, too.
Yeah, she is a joy. And what about the illustrious Jack Quaid?
Everybody in Lao Fei is fantastic. Yeah. Jack is very excited, which is amazing. And Perlina, our Rue character, is also amazing. And
who's your favorite?
I can't pick favorites.
You got to pick a favorite.
I can't pick favorites on camera. They'll come for me.
You have to pick a favorite.
I still have to finish this game. I can't pick favorites.
Yeah. We won't show it until after
I've heard that one before.
The game, but you got to pick a favorite. If you had to pick a favorite, gun to your head.
You're my favorite.
That's the correct answer. Thank you. You've been watching Dev Talk, and I am her favorite.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know who I would pick.
I don't know.
But I've only met each one of them on a Zoom call. I know, I was able to participate in the mocap thing via Skype.
And they work so well together.
Oh my God.
Good energy.
It really is a delight.
Skype?
They all are. Yeah. Really, you did us a solid however many years ago getting Deborah as Faye.
But she is wonderful. I am a huge, huge, huge fan of all of the work that she does. And the work that she's done in this is second to none. Just truly amazing.
But you've been asking a lot of questions, Corey. Why did you want to make a Faye game? Because when I came back to the studio, the Faye game was already in process. Yeah. So what about Faye did you want to do? What about Faye was interesting for you in terms of telling her story?
I think Faye is one of she's in my top 3 favorite characters, right? Of the entire franchise. And she is just such an interesting character with how much she was an orchestrator of Kratos and
Yeah.
Atreus' journey. For me, a warrior has sort of touched such interesting parts of the past history of God of War. Moving to a Fey game and kind of seeing it move forward rather than say like, hey, let's do a Fey game, which we did explore. At the beginning, we were like, let's do the time before so we can really see all these cool moments, like when she was making the axe with Brock and Sindri and all the drama that happened with that. But ultimately, the most interesting part was really to tackle like, hey, what happened when she died? And what continued on and start to create this new layer that exists above. And throughout Ragnarok, Odin was talking about, what you had mentioned before. What happens to us when we die? The other gods, I think, secretly think that a little bit, but his OCD like really took over, and he was hyper fixated and focused, and rightfully so, because there is this sort of transcendent place beyond for the gods that is very interesting for us to start exploring and seeing how all these mythologies mash together. And then that sort of guide being Faye and seeing that difference of like, look, Faye was a warrior of equal sort of excellence, but also damage, right? When her and Kratos met, they were both pretty messed up.
Yeah,
right?
she did not have a good exit from her people. Things
No.
just went south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you say that she's a planner, because I feel like we have taken somebody who has spent their whole life trying to orchestrate things into a perfect space, and then we've put them in some place where they have to think on their feet all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that is
Starting to sound a little bit like you,
maybe just
a planner who is put into a place where she has to now improvise quite a
the
lot.
time.
There's a lot of you inside of this game.
Yes.
And for me, it's really exciting because the franchise, Kratos is sort of the
trunk of our tree.
and he sort of drives the franchise forward, and we want to follow him. But there are so many interesting characters that we created along the way, and for me, Faye and Sindri are to me the two most interesting characters. Like, and I love all the other characters. So all the other characters are amazing, and it's not that I don't love them. It's just that they have very interesting, examined lives that I really want to go deeper into.
I think also like we're starting to build a world where we can tell stories about different people and tell different kinds of stories. Kratos gives us his story, and it's been changing and evolving, and that's fantastic. And I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah.
But it also is nice to be able to tell different stories along the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to see where do these stories go, and introducing this sort of extra layer, the afterlife of the gods that actually connects to all of these other things. Encourage everybody out there to go east. If you haven't seen it, our release date.
Okay.
Watching. Thank you, Ariel Lawrence, for
Thanks,
saying
Corey.
yes.
Yeah, she's about to make the greatest game of all time. But yeah, this was interesting. Honestly, I think I'm gonna put this on my art channel because yeah, this was really more geared for game devs and people that take production in game creation game creation. So yeah.